You ready for us, Coach?
Yeah, I think so, Brad. I can't get a look at you, but they got you blocked out for some reason. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We're ready to start when you are. Go ahead.
Got to see all the I did a Zoom thing back a week ago, and for some reason I couldn't get any of it. So I had to do the whole thing with not seeing anybody. They could see me, but I couldn't see them. That's not good. Listen, happy Thanksgiving. We just got done with our Friday practice, a little bit different. So with that, I'll just open it up. Ready to roll.
Go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach. Hope you had a good short holiday there.
Appreciate it.
You mentioned that you would speak about DeAndre Baker once he was officially with the team. I know he's on the practice squad. How long do you think it may take for him to maybe really contribute something for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I won't even go down that road. That's really hard. I will tell you this, that I just grabbed them coming off the field to say, how'd your first week go? And he said probably the right thing. He said, Coach, you got a little bit better every day. You know, because listen, we got to remember that this young man has not played football this year. It's different than bringing somebody else out from a practice squad or bringing from another team, excuse me. He hasn't had, we kind of threw him in the fire real early on the very first day. And I'm saying to myself, I don't know if that's really fair, and yeah, you got a kink like a miniature. It's going to take a little bit to get up to speed. And I think just his body getting ready to play the speed of football. So we'll take it slow.
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Steve. We actually prefer when we can't see Brad. That's a request of ours.
That's why he was blacked out today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when you go back and look at the film of the Raiders game, how much of what you saw is maybe trends that you could see developing recently with your guys, and how much of it is just throwing away for a bad game? Everybody has a bad day sort of thing.
Yeah, listen, that's how we were all very disappointed. I mean, we won the game and we're happy about that. The most important thing is to win. But we want to feel like we've contributed. I mean, if we don't give up, really realistically, if you don't give up that touchdown at the end that put them ahead, I think we would have felt okay. It's 24 points, and now our offense can do good with those points. But we failed there, and everybody felt bad about that, and they kind of got some things early on us. That's a good football team, number one, good offense. So we knew it was going to be a challenge. But listen, we got to find ways to do things a little bit better. Everybody, coaching, players, the whole thing. It's no different than coming off the Carolina game where we felt we didn't perform real well. And that's what we've done this week, nose to the grindstone. I love the way these guys react to situations like this. It's not going to be perfect when we get in the game. We're not going to stop them on every play. We're not going to cause incompletions on every play. We just got to make sure in those critical moments that we come up with plays so that the points don't get out of whack.
Let's go next to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Steve. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, man.
Thanks, Harold.
No problem. Tom Brady, a lot of players, Tyreek Hill referred to him as he's Mr. GOAT, if you will, and Patrick Mahomes was saying he's still at a good level, Andy Reid. But Eric Bieniemy always says your character is what you show on tape. And quite frankly, when you look at the tape of the game against the Rams, there looked to be a few mistakes there. I'm just curious what you think of how Tom Brady is performing, what you're expecting from him, especially when you faced him so much over your career.
Yeah, listen, I still see the same guy. Now, you got to understand the lens I'm looking through is always looking at how good they are. Even if somebody makes a mistake or has a bad down, I mean, I'm washing that right out because we prepare against the player that's going to be at his best. I hope he's not at his best on Sunday, and when this particular individual is at his best, we all know what he can do and what he can be. I think, look at it. They're no different than defensively for us. You're learning everybody. They didn't have an off season. We didn't have an off season. It's everybody kind of working through the kinks. They have a receiver that got there 3 weeks ago. It wasn't the whole season. So I still see an extremely good football player that we need to worry about.
Go next to Nick Jacobs. Go, Nick.
Steve, Brad, I'll have a follow-up on this. Steve, for you with a pass rush, do you feel like it's where it needs to be, or where do you need to go to kind of improve that aspect of your defense?
Well, I mean, I think that always look, unless you're sacking them on every play, you're always looking for improvement. With pass rush, there's a lot that goes into it. Can the quarterback get the ball out quick because somebody's open? is the offense you're going against. You know, some of these West Coast offenses, really the Raiders in particular, it's a get the ball out quick. He's not standing back there. Can we get them in the situations where we can allow our guys to be, you know, real good pass rush? There's a lot of things that go into it. You know, these play action teams, well, we've had a little bit of struggle, in my opinion, is, you know, first and second down. We've gone through some series where there weren't any third downs. On first and second down with the pass rush, a lot of teams nowadays are keeping people in, tight ends, backs, and they do a really good job of it and chucking it downfield. So I think a lot goes into it. We'll keep grinding away and hopefully it gets better.
And then also for you, what did you learn from watching your defense on tape that you didn't know before that game against the Raiders?
That I didn't know. You know, we did some things differently from a communication and changing of plays at the line of scrimmage, which I thought they did pretty good. So that might be something we can use going forward. I mean, other than that, I mean, look at, we're in here always correcting. So it's probably no different for me than any other week. I mean, we could shut a team out and I'm going to feel like we could have done something better. So, I mean, to me, I look through it from the same lens.
We'll take the last two, Herbie and then Steve. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Thank you, too.
Yeah, you've been doing this a long time, and you've got a lot of players who have returned over the course of the season from major injuries or even short-term injury reserve. How do you, as a coach, get the message to them to find the balance between the competitive desire to be on the field versus making sure your body is correct?
Yeah, that's a good point. That saying we always use is sometimes we have to protect them from themselves. You know, every real good athlete that's prideful, and especially at this level, when you get to professional football, feels like, okay, I'm healthy, I'm going to go, and they go full tilt. And usually sometimes what happens is you hurt something else. You know, the body's a little bit out of whack. So I know our trainers and our strength staff are in tune to that. So I don't think they really give him the green light until he's 100% ready to go. But, you know, until you get in, it's different. Listen, reps in practice, especially this time of the season, are completely different than going in the game when it's full speed. So I think it's something we always got to be conscious of.
We'll go last to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Steve, to build on what Herbie just asked, I know Andy said after the game that Juan Thornhill is a situational guy right now, and he only played a limited number of snaps last week.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from him?
Well, I think Juan and I talked a week ago, and the plan was to take some snaps off him. I just think he needs to be rested a little bit. Him and I had a conversation I'll keep between him and I in a good way. I'm saying we were trying to figure out, you know, how to get him to where he was at the end of last year. And this is kind of what we've coming up with right now. And hopefully as we go, this thing will get back to where it was before, but we'll just let it play itself out. But he's in a good place. I mean, look at he's going to get some confidence back, and he's going to he helps our defense. So we're going to be good going forward.